So I'll be presenting my screen now. Can you see the screen? Are you able to see the screen? Okay. Okay. Thank you. So you're taking some time to join, tell others to join first. Okay, 42 are there now. Okay, now I'm going to start. Yesterday we were discussing about the rules, isn't it? Subject verb agreement rules, and I think I have covered all the 10 rules. So today, this was the last rule, isn't it? Nouns such as scissors, tweezers, trousers, etc., they require plural verbs. That was the last rule which we had discussed, and some exceptional cases were noted. Now, today I'm going to the next part, next type of sentence. That is personal passive voice. Next form, personal passive voice. You might have studied in your school days about active and passive voice and all, isn't it? Have you heard of active and passive voice? Sentences that are an active and passive voice. Anyone? Anyway, we are not going in depth into these forms. We are just going through certain grammatical structures, and you should keep in mind when you write an essay or a letter, you should keep all these grammatical points, structures in your mind. And that's why we are just going to go, we are having an overall look at all of these. Okay. So don't worry, I'm just revising what you had learned in school, and you can just go through it and understand what is in these passages, and then try to write or try to follow these rules. So let us look at what personal passive voice is. So in a sentence can be in either active voice or in passive voice. So personal passive voice means that the object of the active sentence. So this is an active sentence. Example of an active sentence, they build houses is an active sentence. Now in this houses, in this sentence, they is the subject and houses is the object because they is doing some action on the house. The action is the verb, that is build. So they is the subject, build is the verb, and house is the object. That is the object, the thing on which the subject acts is called the object. So this is the form of an active voice, subject, verb, object. So they build houses is in active voice. So when we have to convert it to passive voice, okay, so when we convert it into passive voice, what happens is the object of the active voice becomes the subject. Earlier in active voice, the subject acts on the object, and so you have subject verb object structure, and here Now this is when this is the form taken by a sentence, then it is in active voice. So to convert it into active voice, just take the object out of this active voice and make it the subject. So now it becomes houses are built. Now there is a by clause, by them. It can be houses are built by them, but the by clause is often by agent is left out in passive sentence. Usually the by agent is left out in passive sentence most often. Even if you write it is correct, but there is no need to specify it. Most often the by agent is left out in passive sentences. So if this is the active voice, they build house, you have to find out the subject and the object and exchange them. The object becomes the subject in the passive voice. So houses are built. Houses, it is plural, so it takes a plural verb are. Houses are built and the subject can be avoided. Is it clear to you? Hello, is it clear to you? Did you understand what I said? Okay, just make the object the subject when you convert it into passive voice. Then if you're given an active voice, identify the object, and when you convert that active voice into passive voice, make that object become the subject in passive voice. Now, so see the next sentence. The professor gave the students the books. The professor gave the students the books. So the subject is the professor and his action is on the books. So, is it clear to you? So this sentence is in active voice and we have two objects coming here, students and books. Okay, so we can take it as a whole. Either we can start from books or students, that depends on the sentence. So the sentence can be properly written if we start from students. So the sentence becomes, the students were given the books by the professor, but by can be avoided. So likewise, if you are converting the object to the subject, then the sentence becomes passive. Okay, so that is about active and passive voice. Make the object the subject in order to convert it into passive voice. We are not going into the rules of conversion and all. We are just going through the overall structure. And so just to convert an active voice to passive voice, you have to make the object of the active voice the subject in passive voice. So that is about personal passive voices, active and passive voice. Now next we are going on to the next section, the numerical adjectives, or we can call it adjective of number. Adjectives. Now what are adjectives? You might have studied in school what adjectives are. What are adjectives? What are adjectives? Maybe you forgot, so I'll say the definition. Adjectives are words which are used with a noun. And when we use it with a noun, adjectives are used with a noun, and this adjective, it is a word which is used to describe or point out the person, place, animal, or thing. It is a word that is often used with a noun, and it is used to point out a person. In specific, you're pointing to a person or a place, animal, or a thing, which the noun names. And here you have a noun. Here it is coming along with a noun, and this adjective is the word that points to that noun to tell something extra about the noun. And it tells the number or quantity. If it is a numerical adjective, it gives us the number or the quantity. And adjectives are of different kinds. Kinds of adjectives. There are around 8 kinds of adjectives. This is not in your text, which I asked you in the first class. So you should follow my notebook, okay? All the notes are there in my notebook. Just follow the notebook. Notes, that is the course materials uploaded. So there are 7 kinds of adjectives. The first kind, and among these 8 kinds of adjectives, and among these 8 kinds of adjectives, in your syllabus, it is mentioned only this one adjective, that is adjective of number. Is it clear? So how many kinds of adjectives are there? How many kinds of adjectives are there? 8. Okay. And out of these 8 adjectives, which one should you learn? Which one you have to learn? Which adjective you have to learn in detail? Forgot. Okay. So adjective of number. There are 8 kinds of adjectives. Out of these 8 kinds, we are just learning about adjective of number. So, but let us see what are the other adjectives. Okay. Just in general, in this one paragraph, we are summarizing. So, adjective of quantity. First one is adjective of quantity. Second is adjective of quality. Third is adjective of number. Then fourth one is demonstrative adjective. Fifth one is possessive adjective. Possessive adjective. Then sixth one is indefinite adjective. Seventh one is interrogative adjective. And eighth one is distributive adjective. So these are the 8 kinds of adjectives, but we are focusing on only one kind. Now, what is the difference between all these? Adjective of quality. Examples of words that implies adjectives. I said adjectives are words. So some words that qualify as adjective of quality are beautiful. When we point out to a person and say she is beautiful or he is beautiful, he is handsome. When we point out to boys, we say he is handsome. But to girls, we say she is beautiful. So it is describing that girl. And nice. This is a nice pen. This is a nice pencil. So you're pointing out to a thing. Now, a kind, old, etc. She is a kind woman, or she is a kind man. He is a kind man, etc. So old, etc. These are the words which point to some person and describe that person. So such things which describe the quality of a person comes under adjective of quality. So next one is adjective of quantity. Quantity means number, the amount or a number. That is what is meant by quantity. So some words that we use for quantity are few. Give me a few something that we can describe as few. Give me a few books of artificial intelligence, isn't it? Give me, I would like to have many pens, etc. So we cannot describe how much it is, but we can say some quantity related to it. I have few books, many pencils. Drink as much of water as you can. There is little water left, etc. So such sentences, such words which we describe to as the amount or a quantity is referred to as adjective of quantity. Then adjective of number. This is what we have to learn. That is when a sentence contains 1, 2, 3, 100, first, second, etc. They are known as adjectives of number. Then demonstrative adjective. Demonstrative adjective includes words like this, that, these, those. When we are pointing to things, this is a pen, this is that is a pencil, these are books, those are pens, etc. When we point to certain things and say, we call it as demonstrative adjective. So those words, these words, they come under demonstrative adjective. Next is possessive adjective. Possessive adjective, it shows ownership. That is, whose thing it is, or what it belongs to whom. Like, this is my pen, so my, his, this is his book, this is her book. And it's, when we speak of non-living things or animals, we call it as its. Then your, our, this is our classroom. So it shows that classroom is we own our classroom belongs to us. So this shows possessive adjectives. These are the words that come under possessive adjective. Then indefinite adjective. Indefinite means we doesn't know when it will end. So any, many, some, several, etc. And this has no end. So such words are called indefinite adjectives. The next is interrogative adjective. Those which ask questions. like which, what, whose, etc. They are known as interrogative adjectives. Then distributive adjective. Distributive includes each, every, etc. So these are the words that if you study it, then you'll be able to easily identify which adjective it is. But here we are just concerned with adjective of number. So because I want to introduce you to this adjective of number, I told all these kinds of adjectives. So kinds of numerical adjectives. Now we are going to numerical adjectives or adjective of number, also called numerical adjectives. So there are three kinds of numerical adjectives. There are three kinds of numerical adjectives. First is definite numerical adjective. Second is indefinite numerical adjective. And third is distributive numerical adjectives. So there are three kinds of numerical adjectives. First one is definite numerical adjective. Second is indefinite numerical adjective. And third one is distributive numerical adjective. Okay. So, how many adjectives were there? How many adjectives did I list in total? How many adjectives did I list in total? 8. So, among this 8, which adjective should be studied in detail? Which one should be studied in detail? I said that one of them we should study in detail, isn't it? Adjective of number. Yes. Adjective of number, or it is called numerical adjective. Now the term is very important. Don't say just numbers. You should say numerical adjective or adjective of number. So I said there are three kinds of numerical adjectives or adjective of number. What are the three kinds? There are three kinds of numerical adjectives or adjective of number. What are those three kinds? Anyone? We are going to study numerical adjective in detail. And in numerical adjective, I said there are three kinds of numerical adjectives. What are those three kinds? I just said the heading. Nobody remembers that? I think there are 56, 54 here. I think you're not writing it down, writing the lecture notes. Okay. Then one more. Definite, indefinite, and distributive. Very good. Definite adjective, definite numerical adjective, indefinite numerical adjective, and distributive numerical adjective. So what is the difference between all these three? So what is definite numerical adjective? Here it represents both cardinal. Cardinal means 1, 2, 3. When we write 1, 2, 3, etc., it is called cardinal numbers. And ordinal numbers. Ordinal numbers means the order in which they come. First, second, third, etc. We say he won first prize, the other person won second prize, the third, and the next person third prize, etc. So it is giving a particular order. So this first, second, third, etc. They are called ordinal numbers. And the 1, 2, 3 that we say normally, they are called cardinal numbers. So did you understand the difference between cardinal and ordinal numbers? Did you understand the difference between cardinal and ordinal numbers? The number in the sequence 1, 2, 3, etc., they are known as cardinal numbers. And when we speak of position, like first, second, third, etc., fourth, fifth, sixth, etc., they are called ordinal numbers because they give us a particular order. Isn't it? Is it clear? Is it clear to you? Hello? Okay. Okay, so cardinal and ordinal numbers, they come under the first category, that is definite numerical adjectives. So definite numerical adjective includes both cardinal and ordinal numbers. Cardinal number example 1, 2, 3, etc. Ordinal first, second, third, etc. They belong to this category. Example sentence, I have bought 6 eggs. So I'm giving a number here. So this 6, it belongs to definite numerical adjective because it is giving us a number. Now, the next one is indefinite numerical adjective, or we call it as adjective of quantity. So here there is another adjective called adjective of quantity. But now I am saying adjective of number has one kind called adjective of quantity. But there is a difference between these two. Okay, that we will say, come across here. That is indefinite numerical adjective or adjective of quantity. And they indicate an indefinite number. Indefinite adjectives represent indefinite numbers. Example, we don't know the count. So some, few, many, several, etc. Now let us look at the examples. I have bought some mangoes. Do we know the number of mangoes that we have bought? I have bought some mangoes. Do we know the number of mangoes? Can we exactly count the number of mangoes that we have bought? If I say like that, I have bought some mangoes. Do you know the count? No. Very good. So if I don't know the count, then we call it as indefinite adjective. Very good, Ashwin. So I have bought some mangoes, and the next sentence: there are few children in the class. There were few children in the class. Again, this some and few, they doesn't give us an exact number, and so we call it as indefinite adjective. When used as adjective of quantity, and we said that some and few, they are all adjective of quantity. Isn't it? Here I said few, few. It is an adjective of quantity. Now, what is the difference when it comes to indefinite numerical adjective? And that is stated here. That is, if here I am writing, I have bought some eggs. And next sentence I am writing, I have bought some milk. Okay. Now, some is an indefinite adjective. And as I said, it is also an adjective of quantity. But the difference is that when this new indefinite adjective is followed by a countable noun, when it is followed by a countable noun, then it becomes indefinite numerical adjective. When it is followed by a countable noun or a singular noun, by singular noun which is countable or noun which is countable, then we call it as indefinite numerical adjective. So the noun is countable because eggs are countable, isn't it? You can count the number of eggs. Even though sum is indefinite, eggs are countable. So if the noun is countable, then this sum, the word sum, becomes an indefinite numerical adjective. And in the next sentence, I have bought some milk. Is milk count? Can you count milk? Can you count milk? Just like you count eggs, can you count milk? No. So when this word, that is when this adjective is followed by an uncountable noun, which is singular, it is stated that it should be singular. Milks, we cannot write milk. So singular uncountable noun is encountered after a numerical adjective, then it becomes adjective of quantity. So this is some is a numerical adjective, but when it is followed by a singular uncountable noun, it becomes adjective of quantity. And when the same word sum is followed by a countable noun, then it becomes indefinite numerical adjective. This kind, indefinite numerical adjective. But if it is followed by an uncountable singular noun, then it becomes adjective of quantity. So it lies in what is being followed, what context we are using. If it is a countable noun, it is indefinite numerical adjective. If it is an uncountable singular noun, then it becomes adjective of the sum. The word sum becomes adjective of quantity. So that is indefinite numerical adjective. Now the third kind of adjective is distributive numerical adjective. In distributive numerical adjective, it is same as a distributive adjective, but here a distributive numerical adjective should be followed by a singular noun and a singular verb. Here there is another category called distributive adjective. But I said in adjective of number also there is one kind called distributive numerical adjective. So what is the difference between these two? Distributive numerical adjective and distributive adjective. That is, in distributive numerical adjective, it is same as distributive adjective, but the difference is distributive numerical adjective should be followed by a singular noun and a singular verb. The distributive numerical adjective should be followed by a singular noun and a singular verb. Now let us see. Each, every, either, neither. They are all distributive numerical adjective. And let us see how it is used in sentence. Every child needs love. Okay, so every child, this is every. Every is the, as I said, every is the distributive numerical adjective. So every is followed by a singular noun and a singular verb. There is S and E, the verb is singular. So every, if the word every is followed by a singular noun, child is singular and children is plural. Hope you know that child is singular and children is plural. So if every is followed by a singular noun and a singular verb, then this every is called distributive numerical adjective. Every becomes distributive numerical adjective. Likewise, either, another example, either is also here in this list. So either, method. Again, the method is singular. Methods are plural and method is singular. So either method is singular. Verb, singular verb is, are is plural verb. So it is for either is followed by a singular noun and a singular verb. Then this either word is distributive numerical adjective. So another thing to be noted here is that plural nouns and singular verbs is used after each of, every one of, either of and neither of. With each and every, we use singular subject and singular noun and singular verb. But with each of, when we are adding off to these, that is each of, every one of, either of, neither of, when we are adding off to these, then we have to use plural nouns and singular verbs. Here we said we have to use singular nouns and singular verbs, but when we are adding off to each of these words, that is each of, every one of, either of, neither of, when we are adding off to those words, then it should be followed by plural nouns and singular verbs. Okay. For example, either of, the methods. So the methods is, the noun has become plural. Here it was singular. Now here it has become plural. Either of the methods is correct. Is the verb. Is singular verb and plural noun. So with either of, neither of, etc., it should be followed by a plural noun and a singular verb. Either of the methods is correct. But if you write either of the method, it is wrong. So I give you a fill in the blanks and tell you to fill, like either of the dash is correct, and I will give options method and methods. If you're going to choose method, then it is wrong, because either of should be followed by plural nouns and singular verb. So these are some of the rules that should be kept in mind. So with each, every, either, neither, they are all distributed numerical adjective. It should be followed by a singular noun and a singular verb. Singular noun and singular verb. But with the adding off to these, that is each of, every one of, either of, neither of, then it should be followed by a plural noun and a singular verb. Plural noun and a singular verb. So here the noun is plural, methods is plural, and verb is singular. It was are, it is plural, it is a singular verb. So these are the three kinds of numerical adjectives. Is it clear to you? Is it clear to you? Hello? Shall I proceed? Okay, when you study, if you have any doubt, just ask, okay? If you have any doubt when you study, just ask me. Now, let us move on to the next part, embedded sentences. Embedded sentences are nothing but sentences that are that we can separate from a big sentence. You have a big sentence. From that, we can separate small sentences but meaningful sentences. We can divide a big sentence, or you can extract a small sentence from a big sentence. Then that small sentence is said to be embedded in the big sentence. Let us see how it is. For a sentence to be complete, it should include the main clause. So main clause is the most important clause that states the important point about a sentence. So the main clause is a group of, what is the main clause? The main clause is a group of words made up of subject and predicate. So main clause is a group of words which is made up of subject and predicate. Subject is what the sentence is about. Predicate is the part of the sentence that speaks about the subject. And they together express, subject and predicate together express a complete concept. Now let us look at an example how these sentences are embedded. So look at this example. The angry bear howled ominously. The angry bear howled. The angry bear howled ominously. Okay, it howled aloud alone. Okay, and this sentence can be split. We have to find out a sentence that has been embedded inside this particular sentence. That is, the angry bear howled ominously. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, I think there is some problem with my network. Okay, till where did you hear? Till where did you hear? I'll share my screen once again. Can you see the screen? Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Okay, 1 minute. So there were some network issues here. Now you can say your attendance. I'll just mark your attendance now. 1 minute. You post the attendance as well as you can say your attendance. Okay. Number 1.
1, 2,
Post here also. Okay. Just type also.
3,
4, 5,
6,
7, 8,
9,
9,
10,
11,
12. 12 absent. 13,
13,
14
14,
absent. Okay. 14 present.
16,
14,
Okay. 14 present. 15 present. 16 present. 17.
17,
18,
19,
20,
21,
22 absent. 23,
23,
24,
25, 26,
27.
27,
Okay. 28, 28, 29. Number 28 and 29 absent. 28 and 29.
ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് അച്ഛാ
28 and 29. 30.
30,
31,
30. Okay.
32.
33,
34.
34,
35,
35. Okay. 36.
36,
37.
37,
Next.
38,
39. 40.
40,
41. Absent. 41. 42.
42,
43,
43.
44,
45,
46.
46,
47.
47,
48,
49,
Okay. 50. Number 50.
50,
Next 51. 51. Absent. 52.
52, 53,
54,
55, 56,
57. Absent.
58,
59, 60,
61,
62,
62.
62,
Okay.
63,
60. Okay. So absent is number 12. Anujit. Unda. Anujit unda. Atul. Number 22. Number 12. Number 22. Then number 28, 29, and 41. Unda ആരെങ്കിലും? 41. Then 51. and 57. Seven students are absent here today. Okay, thank you.